Hey, you! We haven't talked in a while. What's new? That said, he was my neighbor, and I was hoping he'd be my friend. It's an awful tragedy. I think we're a bit old for the whole detective thing, but go ahead. What do you need? I'm not sure I can help you with anything, but let's give it a try.
Who knows? Maybe we both can help. What's the problem? Listen, I don't know what your eyewitness was smoking, but Lynette barely has enough energy to lift herself into bed at night, let alone chat with some stranger.
Yeah, this is a little bizarre anyway. I was asleep by 9 o'clock that night. Who thinks they saw me? It's crazy.
You know, I've heard some things about your son. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he sounds like nothing but trouble.
Whoa, everyone calm down. I was in bed by 9 that night, so it obviously wasn't me your son saw. Where was this car? Yeah, hope he's not spreading these little assumptions any further than you. You know, to be fair, I do remember something strange from that night.
Not me. I was sound asleep.
Yeah, my little watchdog here. Wouldn't wake up if a tornado ripped the roof off the house.
I sleep soundly. Is that a crime?
Anyway, Tom was fast asleep. Some noise had woken me up, and I couldn't get back to sleep.
Yeah, she's like that. Her mind's always racing. Needs a horse tranquilizer to get her back to bed. But maybe we should get back to helping out with this case. So, what do you remember that night?
I was looking for something to read to help me fall asleep, and I thought I left it on the windowsill. When I looked, there wasn't any magazine, but I saw Gabby on the sidewalk. She was running around the neighborhood.
Are you telling me that Gabby was running errands at midnight and decided to stop and have a conversation with a stranger?
No, Tom, she was literally running in her very tight pink jogging outfit. You know, the one you're always staring at.
Of course. That makes sense now. Gabby was flirting with some guy. It's actually pretty funny that anyone would think you were flirting with someone.
Tom, what are you implying?
You just don't flirt. Well, often. You don't flirt often.
Now that I'm a mother, am I supposed to be asexual now? Is it out of the realm of possibility that I might flirt with a man and that a man might find me to be attractive? Okay, I don't mean to be rude, but Tom and I have a few things to discuss.
So, tell me, did you find out anything new about Daniel's case? Okay, what's up? I told you I went out running that night, didn't I?
Gabby, what is she talking about? Just what were you up to that night?
I don't know. There was some guy.
Some guy?
No, wait. 2 guys, actually. They were really confused.
Hey, boy. Dogs love meat. Even meat from animals you've never heard of. Lamb Coast meat snacks are...
Of course they had names. The one that talked with me in the passenger seat. His name started with an L, but I can't remember what it was. Well, they did freak me out at first, but he was just asking for directions. It was pathetic. The guy tried to flirt with me. I mean, come on. He was driving last year's model. Did he think I'd even give the time of day to a guy in a car like that?
Whoa, back up, Gabby. Who was this guy? Why was he flirting with you?
Carlos, it's not technically flirting if it's one-sided. And trust me, this was one-sided. I was just being nice. Besides, I don't usually fall for the kind of guys you see on the FIB's most wanted list. Unless you were on it, sweetie.
Gosh, thanks, I guess.
What exactly do you want to know?
Tell us exactly what happened that night, Gabby. Everything. Then our friend here can find out what she needs to know and do her little detective thing somewhere else.
Right. Well, I was out running and... And that was it. See? You were all getting excited over what turned out to be nothing. These guys got lost. They pulled over and I gave them directions. And then they went off on their merry little way. Sorry. No clues or red herrings or anything, Sherlock.
Just out of curiosity, where were they going?
Oh, they wanted directions to the Fox house.
They what? My God. Gabby, how is it that this is the first time we've all heard about this?
Come on, I mean, what's the big deal? They were lost, and I was trying to help them. I was just trying to be helpful.
Well, you sure picked a wonderful time to start. Do you have any idea what this means? You're an accessory to murder, Gabby, and you withheld information from the police. Hell, I could be violating parole just for being around you. They could throw me back in jail. Is that what you want?
How would I have known what they were up to? I don't see what the problem is. I mean, they would have found the house sooner or later. He's in the phone book, you know. Like, are they the worst criminals you've ever heard of? Having to ask directions to a hit. It's just pathetic.
I think you should take a deep breath and listen to what you're saying. All right, just forget it. I don't want to hear any more from you. You've done enough. At least we have a better idea of what went down that night. And lucky you. You managed to get an eyewitness that found a way to help facilitate the murder, but somehow can't remember the name of the killer who tried to hit on her.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I'll say one thing, though. She sure is taking her time.
Okay, I'm back. This is for you. It's the guy's phone number from that night.
You kept his number?
Now I remember. His name was Leonard, but my friends call me Leo. Yeah, didn't do much for me when he said it either.
What reason could you possibly have to keep his number?
Oh, relax, Carlos. I put it in my pocket and just forgot about it since then. Like you'd expect me to wear the same hoodie twice?
Well, it's very convenient, isn't it?
Hello?
I think we've all done things we regret at some point.
Try to get people...
What?
No, really, I'm listening.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, where do I talk into?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Vinny, what am I supposed to do? How does this work? Jesus Christ, are you a moron? You talk into the phone and say something like, leave a message after the beep. Or Big Sammy sleeps with the fishes. Your choice. Hey, what are you doing? You're recording right now. You gotta start over. I don't want my voice on your stupid answering machine. Hello?
You see where I'm headed?
I have to hear more.
No, of course not.
That's not something that I personally have to worry about.
Yep, that sounds about right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Well, go on.
You see where I'm headed?
I have to
Vincent
hear more.
Corsetti? The Vincent Corsetti?
I can do so much better than that for myself.
It's nothing. Let's make sure it's the same guy before we start jumping to conclusions.
You should know better than that.
It set me back $15,000.
This is Vincent.
We all know that she could do better.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I can do so much better than that for myself.
Okay, shoot.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And the next thing I know...
What are you talking about? I'm sorry. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
I had to buy it.
Fox?
Right, right.
I don't know what you're looking for. I was as upset as anyone else when I heard about his untimely passing. It was an absolute tragedy. Poor preening bastard was doing so much for the community.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You see where I'm headed?
That's not something that I personally have to worry about.
I'm sorry. I'm not the right guy to ask about that. If you're looking for answers or closure, the police are still investigating the crime. I'm sure they're doing everything they can to find out who's behind Fox's death.
That doesn't make any sense.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yep, that sounds about right.
What makes you say that?
Whoever let her leave the house looking like that should be arrested.
Why the hell would anyone even be bothered?
Wait, there's more?
And get this.
I'd rather not think about what could happen.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Sorry, name doesn't ring a bell.
Makes sense.
How does this relate to me exactly? I mean, I do business with a lot of people.
And how do you
It's
know if you were
always
gonna do it
possible
again?
that I met him at some point. You know, it's funny. You wouldn't believe how many people there are running around saying they're friends with Vincent Corsetti. On any given day, a man in my position may meet dozens of people. I can't be expected to remember everyone I've met. Give me a break.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'd rather not think about what could happen.
Hey, so listen. There's only one way to go about doing something like that.
I have to hear more.
I never trusted him. Not for 1 minute.
Oh, right. That Leo.
Well,
Yeah, maybe I know who you're talking about. Oh, yeah, Leo. I think he works at the pharmaceutical office. We have a lot of employees, though. I don't know them all by name.
he should know better than that.
Why the hell would anyone even be bothered?
That's not something that I personally have to worry about.
Listen,
Why the hell
I
would anyone
understand
be
how
bothered?
difficult it must be for you. You miss your friend and you're trying to find answers. But you're barking up the wrong tree here. I'm sure if you just give it some time, you'll find out that there are better days coming your way. One thing I've found in my years of doing business is people usually get what's coming to them.
Yep, that sounds about right.
No, really, I'm listening.
Listen, I'd love to keep talking to you, but I've got an important business call on the other line. I've got to go, but let's talk later. We have a lot to talk about.
I have to hear.
Goodbye for now.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So listen.
What the hell do you think you're doing? Look, this is not a game. You shouldn't be speaking with Vincent. In my job, I sometimes have to observe certain members of the community. And I became aware of your recent contact with Vincent. Don't worry, it's not you that we're investigating. I really shouldn't be telling you this. It's classified. But it's for your own good. Vincent is being monitored by the government. His calls, his business dealings, everything. And from what I gather, you don't even... Actually, we shouldn't be having this conversation over the phone. You never know who's listening. I have to take care of some things. But whenever you're ready to meet in person, call me back. My time is valuable, but so is what I have to tell you.
Hello. To what do I owe the pleasure? I don't think I quite follow you. You want to run that by me again? Wow, that was blunt.
You guess you'll have to do what? Yeah, hi. Were you hitting on my boyfriend?
Don't mind her. She's just pulling your leg. Aren't you, Edie?
Of course I'm joking. This is almost funny. The two of you should know better than to try to hook up behind my back. Not without asking me first, at least. I thought I'd knock off early and come home for a pick-me-up. Now that we've dispensed with the pleasantries, I really need to talk to Carl for a moment. You can wait here if you want to, but we're going to be about an hour or so.
We are?
Yes, we are. Give or take about a half hour. depending on whether you want side dishes or just the main course.
I'll take the works. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks. I'll see you out. It's no trouble at all, really. Bye-bye. This is Edie Britt. Britt Realty. Can I help you? Well, I do cover that area, but it's all the way across town from where I am right now. I won't have an opening until 2 weeks from today. Can I pencil you in for then? Around noonish? No, I'll meet you there in 30 minutes. Sure I do. See you in a bit. Bye.
Hey, you're back. I know I didn't get rid of her. Did you have something to do with that? Huh. I think I follow. How is that for you, baby? She doesn't, but you do. Sounds good to me. Why don't you research that, and we'll make a plan.
Hello? Really? From who? Yeah, Eric Larson. We've met. What did he want? Maybe you should find out what it is. I get the feeling he might be able to tell us something worthwhile.
The startled hunter reaches for his knife in a desperate attempt.
You're not wearing your dress, I see. Not that I blame you or anything. Just between you and me, I don't think his designs are anything special. Just a friendly tip. The host of the pity party is going to have a fit if you don't put yours on.
Ah, now you had the right idea. Good for you. Don't bow to peer pressure and wear Daniel's dress like everyone else. I wish I was as bold as you. Of course, that means that no one else here will talk to you. But at least you didn't have to squeeze yourself into that dress. Ouch! Did I deserve that? Oh, who am I kidding? I'm sure I did something to deserve it. I don't have time for this anyway. I'm late for my pedicure appointment.
You know, I have to admit it's strange that Bree asked us to wear Daniel's dresses over here. But would it hurt to indulge her for one night and wear yours?
Oh, how could you? You're not wearing Daniel's dress. Talk to me after you've changed.
Oh, I see you aren't wearing your dress. Is there a particular reason for that? If you didn't want to take part in our gathering honoring poor Daniel, then you might as well not have come over in the first place.
Hey, what's up? What do you mean when you say holding up? There isn't anything really bothering me about it. I don't know what else to tell you. You know, I get enough people asking me how I feel these days. Do us both a favor and don't add your name to the list. Daniel was just a neighbor. People come and go. Usually they just move. This time it was just a little more, exciting than usual. Well, I'll say one thing. He was the only person around here with any taste. I'll definitely miss that. Oh, no offense, of course. Okay, good. It's just that Carlos says that I don't think before I speak. But he can be such an idiot sometimes. But yeah, I'll miss him. And the collection of samples he kept in the basement. I wonder if he left them to me in his will. Without him, I'll never be able to start that clothing line we talked about. I was going to be the face, and he was going to be the brains. Not that I couldn't do it all myself, of course. I had a friend of mine draw up a business plan and I took some new pictures for the cover of the catalog. I certainly can't go into business on my own. Where am I going to find another premier fashion designer in this town? Now that he's gone, I have to find something else to do with my spare time. If I'm not careful, I'll be scouting out the high school football team again. Oops, did I say that out loud? Ow! What's with you? Listen, Miss Thing, you're in no position to judge. Right. Well, thanks.
So, you're here too, huh? To be honest, Bree's cooking was the deciding factor for me. But I prefer to look at it like this. He came, he sewed, he croaked. In that order. It's also morbid. I think it's high time the rest of us get back to living it up. There's a whole world of things we could be doing right now instead of sitting around crying into our drinks. Personally, I think we should forget the grieving process and try to get to the bottom of Daniel's murder. If you ask me, I think that brother of his is to blame. He's always acting so weird. Mind you, he's not Zach Young weird, but give him some time and they'll be fighting for the Wisteria Lane weirdo crown. Please, you don't know any more than I do. I'll bet Frank's the kind of sicko that actually enjoys playing Little Mr. Innocent, while everyone else is running around town looking for the real killers. Whatever.
Hey!
Well, I just... Well, you should have said that in the first place.
Hi. Considering what happened to Daniel, it's amazing I'm here at all. Tom had to talk me down from buying a house in one of those godforsaken gated communities. Well, Bree said we should bring it all out into the open, which is so unlike Bree. She's usually so uptight. To be honest, Tom and I are convinced she doesn't even go to the bathroom. Can you believe something so horrible happened on our street? Okay, let's talk about how foolish we were to think we were safe living in this bubble. I mean, truth is, there's no such thing as being absolutely safe. It's really scary. I have 4 beautiful, albeit annoying, kids. I'm sorry to dump it all on you like that, but that's how I feel. All mothers develop their own form of acute paranoia. It's instinctual, but now there's a tangible reason for it. What if my boys had snuck out of the house that night? I don't even want to think about it. I don't know. With all that's happened to Mary Ellis and then Rex, I'm thinking the street might be cursed or something. At least in a gated community, there's some real sense of security. What the hell? What do you think you're doing? Well, guess what? You didn't. Go talk to someone else. I think I've had enough of your help for one night. I knew I shouldn't have come here tonight. What now? Oh, are you? I take it you know something I don't. Well, if that really is the case, and it wasn't a random act of violence, then it certainly puts my mind at ease. Thanks.
Hello. Can I help you? And by that, I assume you mean the brutal murder of Daniel Fox in our own neighborhood. Well, to be honest, his death caused me to examine certain aspects of my own life. So I immediately went out and bought another shotgun. That said, I think there really is more going on here than meets the eye. I simply don't believe it was a random act of violence. Oh, come now. Are you telling me you're not the least bit curious about how it all transpired? Was he pumped for information? Did he have something they wanted? Oh, perhaps he even owed them money that was borrowed to support some reprehensible drug habit. Now, don't get me wrong. It's quite unfortunate Daniel had to pass in the manner he did. But at the same time, can you honestly tell me you're not even the slightest bit curious as to just what went on in that house? I mean, for heaven's sake, why would Daniel, of all people, have need for a gun? Makes you wonder about what else was going on in the Fox house. Excuse me? I suppose I was being a little harsh. Perhaps I shouldn't have another cocktail. But in all fairness, you have to admit we are in the midst of a very strange situation here. You made your point. Let's not speak of it anymore.
Hey there. I feel just fine. I have to say, I'm a bit distraught. Just everything, I guess. I mean, Daniel was such a sweet man, and charming, and witty. He was like one of the girls. Sort of. We even invited him to poker night. And we don't do that for just anyone, you know. Who would want to do something like that to someone like him? Sometimes, it just seems like there isn't any kind of justice in the world. I don't know what he could have possibly done to his assailants, but he didn't deserve to die over it. What do you think you're doing? Yeah, thanks for your help. I really needed that. Haven't you finished consoling me yet? Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks. I can see why Bree invited you over. You have a way with words, you know that?
So, you ready to meet with me yet? Because if you don't have the time to have a serious conversation with me, then don't bother saying yes. Good. It would be in both of our best interests if I came to you. Meet me at the cul-de-sac in 60 minutes. I'll be expecting you. Glad to see you made it. Nice to see you haven't lost your wit, even with the gravity of the current situation. You're here because we need to talk. There's a hell of a lot more to Daniel's murder than you think. There's a number of things I can tell you about him. I told you we've been keeping an eye on him, didn't I? The man leads two lives. In one life, he's a businessman, an occasional philanthropist. That's the guy that came backstage at the fashion show and was checking out houses in the neighborhood. The other life is one that not too many people know about. That's the Vincent Corsetti you really don't want to deal with. He's like a snake without the charm. That Vinny is a high-ranking member of an incredibly powerful mob family in the city. Your little detective work just revealed the tip of the iceberg. Frank Fox noticed some shady dealings going on at his old office. The perps wanted to cover their tracks and hired some mob enforcers to tie up their loose ends. That's why the trail you were following led you to Vincent Corsetti. It was his thugs that killed Daniel. Thing is, once Vinny got wind of the deal, he decided he wanted a bigger piece of the pie. He snapped his fingers and suddenly everyone with any knowledge of the bookkeeping errors disappeared. Frank was the last link. My suspicion is that they killed Daniel thinking he was Frank. Not that I need to even say it, but do yourself a favor and don't get involved with Vincent again. It's not safe. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just that, are you really that forgiving? Or did you just block that whole ordeal out of your memory? I really thought the locket would stir up something in you. But I guess that wasn't the case. What did he do to you? You gave it back to me before you left town to start your life with Vincent. I couldn't offer you the lifestyle you were looking for, and so I let you go. When you called me to ask me for help, I didn't know what to do, but I offered to help you in any way I could. But when you didn't show up when you were supposed to, I suspected the worst. I thought you'd left us for good. I thought you were dead. For all I knew, you just dropped off the face of the earth. When I was brought in to investigate Vincent's shady business operation, I thought I'd find you with him. But I didn't. Then I got word that he'd found someone that he was looking for. Some kind of unfinished chapter in his life. Yes, Mary. I'm talking about you. Looking into Vincent allowed me to find you again. But you had a new life. I didn't want to step in where I wasn't wanted, but now I have to. You're getting too close to Vincent, and trust me, he's not the kind of person you want to get involved with. There is one thing I have to ask you, though. There's a period of time where I couldn't find any records for you. like you vanished off the face of the earth. What happened to you, Mary? You're Mary. Can't you even remember that? Take another look at that locket I gave you. One face should be pretty familiar to you already. We took that picture at the Wood River County Fair. That was long before you got involved with Vincent, of course. It's us. And I know somewhere in the dark recesses of your mind you know it to be true. What I don't know is how you can black out on an entire section of your life. Just as stubborn as ever, I see. You'll come to terms with this on your own. Believe what you want to believe. But do me one favor. Stay away from Vinnie Corsetti. You've got to trust me on that.
Hello? Yeah, me too. I've been going over everything I know about Daniel's murder, and I need to talk to you. In person. Meet me downtown, ASAP. I'm on my way now. If you leave right now, we should get there at the same time. Bye.
Glad to see you finally made it. So, now that you're here, we need to talk. Whatever. We're here now. We'll talk now. So, I've been piecing together the evidence. There was a lot going on the night Daniel died. The Solises, the Scavos, the Vandy Camps, even your son was out that night. One thing we know for certain is that two people were up to committing murder. Sure, we have some evidence, but we're not done yet. No, we can't do that. We don't know what could happen. You don't realize how deep this goes. I thought I could get away from them. I thought if I moved and kept to myself, they'd never find me. I mean, I couldn't even find Fairview on a map. How the hell did they find me? I know. It's all my fault. I should have told him. I think now's the time we do something. But I don't know where to start. There's still one thing that's bothering me. How did that Leo guy know Vincent Corsetti of all people? It doesn't add up. You've been holding out on me? It was convenient timing when he showed up, wasn't it? Just when things started to get fishy. All right then. It's up to me to make the next move. We'll find out soon enough.
Most people's lives are driven by fear. Fear of hidden dangers. Fear of secrets being discovered. Or fear of the unknown. But sometimes, what we think may be a demon lurking in the shadows turns out to be merely our guardian angel in disguise.